Welcome, everyone, to Dead Talk Live. I'm your host, Viz, from Walking Dead Now. We have not one, not two, but three special guests with us tonight. I had to get really creative to fit all of us into the Instagram screen, so I created the Instagram video sandwich, okay? We got Gypsy Road right there on top with his brother Bob. The meat in tonight's sandwich is Ceiling Fan Man right there in the middle. And not complete the sandwich as the bottom bun. So, I carefully position myself for the Instagram people so you guys can see me to the right of your text chats right there. I want to welcome all our first-time viewers as well as our regular viewers. This is going to be one wacky hour. We're going to be talking about movies, TV shows, and I have no script. I have no talking points tonight. We're just going to see where the conversation takes us, and we'll take it from there. For all you guys that want information about our show, please visit our website located at deadtalklive.com. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel located at Walking Dead Now. So, Gypsy Road, Bob, Ceiling Fan Man, how are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. We're ready. We're ready for the zombies.
Oh, shoot.
Oh!
We're already doing swords? That was early, man. I thought we were going to hold back. I'm ready.
No. We're ready, man. We're ready.
We got swords.
Well, yeah, come on, man. If the bullets run out, right? Walking Dead, right? And does anyone have a tiger? I've been looking for someone that has a tiger. They're very useful. They only kill the bad guys. They never touch the good guys. They're really smart.
Yeah. No, that tiger unfortunately was all CGI, so not even the cast got to play with the real tiger. That would have been cool, though. I would have been scared as shit, though, if I was the cast and had a tiger right there as my co-star. So, anyway, my goal is by the end of this hour, is to have these guys fully educated on all things The Walking Dead. Now, I'm going to need all of our viewers tonight to help me out. They're monitoring the chats. Feel free to ask any of us a question. If you have a question for a particular person, please put their name in the chat so we know who the question is being addressed to. But like I said, other than that, I've got no talking points. We're just going to see where it takes us. I want to welcome all our viewers. Julian has joined us. Trish has joined us. Ketley has joined us. TCG has joined us on Instagram. On YouTube, we have The Last Mile. We have Saz. Hey, Saz. My brother Marco is going to be monitoring the text chats tonight, and we'll be talking to you guys live on the air. Summer, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? So let's just get this started right away.
Let's get this started.
So we're here.
Hey, one of the episodes of Walking Dead, I don't know which season it was, which one, but there was an episode that really made me love The Walking Dead. It was a scene where Rick and Daryl, I think they're on the road, they're in cars, and they got these people, live people, not the dead, and they're about to kill them or something, and then Rick just went mad and crazy and went to this guy's face and took a chunk of his piece of his face, just bit it off and spit it like if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go out banging, I'm gonna go out crazy. And actually, they survived because he actually went crazy and took a piece of a chunk out of a live person. You know which one I'm talking about?
I know exactly which one you're talking about. And you know what? He took a chunk out of the guy's throat.
Yes.
Yeah, he took a chunk out of his throat because they had his son. And they were threatening to abuse and kill his son. And the guy had him in a bear hug, right? The guy had him in a bear hug, and he's like, well, what are you going to do now, sport? What are you going to do now? Well, he showed him exactly what he's going to do. He just leaned in, took a big chunk out of his carotid artery, spat it out.
Yeah,
guy dropped like a rock.
And that's why I liked it, because it's like real life. You know, when somebody's got your kid, somebody's got your kid, and you got like no weapons on you, your mouth is a weapon.
Do the same thing.
You know, I can see myself doing that. That's what I love about Rick. That's why I miss Rick not being on the show, because remember the other episode when they're in that village where all the zombies are actually invaded their little, I don't know what you call their village, and then he just said, fuck this. Went outside with some weapons back, and they just, like, all this went out there and just went crazy and killed all the zombies. I mean, they just went like madhouse. It's like, what do you got to lose?
Can you imagine PTSD?
Not only that, that what he did right there after his son got shot in the eye is he didn't give a shit if he lived or died. He just went out
That was
there.
one of his best moments. It was almost like, was it slow motion even? He was just going crazy with hatchets.
But Vince, how do you remember all this? I mean, I couldn't even remember what season episode that was. I mean, you know what you knew what I was talking about.
Well, it's not like I've watched these episodes 100 times. I haven't. I've seen maybe those episodes, a maximum 2, maybe 3 times from start to finish. But those are just memorable scenes.
They are.
They are. And, there are some scenes that a lot of our viewers bring up that I have no idea about because it just didn't register in my mind. But then you have these, what The Walking Dead is really built on is shockers, shocking moments. Now, Ceiling Fan Man, when I was on the show with Gypsy Road last week, you made a great point about when you saw Michonne killing those kids. Now, I put yourself in, in that position. Let's say you're just sitting on the couch and you're just flipping channels, right? And you come up on The Walking Dead on that scene where you see a grown woman killing little kids. Of course you're gonna be like, what the hell is going on here? This is disturbing. This is beyond disturbing. But what makes The Walking Dead so great is the backstory, okay? You had to know what happened and that she was defending her child. It was her sister. It was the woman who was hacking up the kids. Her name was Michonne. Her sister came into the scene, who Michonne thought she was dead, okay? And this was all seen in a flashback. And, of course, Michonne took her in with open arms. Her sister had a whole bunch of kids with her that she was supposedly protecting and raising. But what it turned out to be like children of the corn.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what that scene reminds me of? You know what that scene really reminds me of? I know this is a Star Wars reference. But do you remember The Last Jedi when Luke Skywalker had a chance to kill Kylo Ren, but he said there was just too dark. It was just too dark. He can't save them, and he didn't. He froze. And Kylo Ren was able to escape and kill a lot of people. But if he did not freeze, if he would have killed Kylo Ren, the war would have ended in a way. And it kind of reminds me of that Walking Dead where she saw the darkness of those kids, and the only way to save other people from dying is to have to kill those kids.
I kill them.
Even though, if you got to kill a kid, you got to do it.
Right. Here's where I guess what happened that night. What I was talking about. It's the fourth wall. I was watching that episode because remember I've been into this I even went through the farm season. Okay, I lost a lot of good friends in the farm season. But I stuck with it through the hard times and we came back all right. It's a good show. Yeah. But when I was watching that, at some point I snapped out of just the storyline because I got the storyline. I totally understood and dug why she was doing it in a weird way saying that. I did. But it snapped me out for a minute and it bothered me. And that's why I brought that one up. Because that's why I kind of backed away from it. Because I didn't like seeing it. And that was nothing to do with the show. So.
Oops, sorry. Exactly. Gypsy Road. You asked how I remember this? One of our contributors corrected me. Her name was Jocelyn, the woman that came in with the kids, and it wasn't her sister, it was her friend.
Oh,
okay? Yeah, you want to call that the Mandela effect? Let's call it the Mandela
But
effect.
I did watch Children of the Corn, so I understood what those kids were. I got it. I saw that.
But you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. The Walking Dead has like those scenes that stays with you forever. Because I remember that one scene where Rick was looking for his wife or something, and they saw the zombie, and the zombie's stomach was all fat because the zombie ate the whole body of Rick's wife.
Yeah.
That was the prison season.
Exactly. I know exactly which one you're talking about, and I actually take issue with that. Because if anybody who's watched zombie movies, as I have since I was a little kid, zombies don't eat bones.
No, they don't.
And this, Yeah, and this whole woman's body disappeared. Yeah. It was his wife, Lori, and her whole body just disappeared. And not only that, her son supposedly put her out, before she could turn into a zombie. And when Rick walks in and finds her body completely missing, it's gone. And you see that walker, that zombie that you just mentioned, slouched down in the corner with like two basketball sizes of a belly. Yeah. They want us to believe that not only did that zombie eat her, it also ate her bones. And what made it weird is the bullet that Rick picked up, that her son supposedly shot her with, it was still intact. It wasn't like how a bullet fragments or gets distorted when it hits a human body or whatever. I think if I remember the scene correct, the bullet was pretty much intact. Oh. So, yeah, I don't know if they were just...
the reason I love the Rick character is his progression from beginning to where he ended off of the show. Like, first he's trying to enforce the laws, and here's his best friend. Then he's realized he's getting screwed over by everyone, and then he starts going all crazy when his wife dies, right? And then he ends up doing all kinds of... Even, like, the other... group said that he was nuttier than their guy. When you remember when he smashed that zombie's face in and he kept going. I mean, the progression of his madness, and you weren't sure if he was the good guy anymore. Like when they kill all Negan's people when they're sleeping. I mean, it's like where did he become the villain and not? It kind of like a gray area, right?
And then Negan broke him again. He gets broken again when they're at the trailer. They're all trapped, and right before they kill Glenn, fucked him over. He threw him in the RV. They drove off. He making him his person, his bitch.
Was it Maxine? What's the name of his club? Maxine. What's the name of his bat?
Lucille. Yeah, like the guitar.
Yeah, Lucille. That bat.
I did my own one time. I did a commercial. I used to have a business, and I sent you the photo. Actually.
Yeah, I got it just before the show. That was funny. But yeah, like that Negan whole getup that he wore when he killed those two guys, that was like a year, even to this day, it's like one of the most worn Halloween costumes that people get put up in.
Well, he's kind of, my opinion, just my opinion, he kind of, my opinion, at that time, kind of saved The Walking Dead, because I got tired of the last two seasons with that one leader who left and came back, and it's like all the governor all over again. I was like, I'm kind of bored of those. But then Negan has that like Elvis, the Fonz, the way he talks to you.
Can I ask you guys, isn't it obvious if you're going to join a gang and you look at one group and one guy has an eye patch and the other guy has a hook for his hand? Isn't that usually the bad team? I mean, isn't it obvious? I don't know. The guy
with the bat with the metal around
I want to hang out with the rockabilly. I mean, personally, I want the rockabilly with the baseball bat.
At least Negan. If you back him up, you do what he says. He takes care of you.
Yeah,
he was. Negan was not a psychopath.
Rick is more.
That other guy that you were talking about, the governor, he was a psychopath.
Yes. He had all those dead heads in there, right?
Yeah. He had him in an aquarium. I mean, the dude had him in an aquarium, of all places, and he would sit, like, I'm going to just sit right before bed, just have a nice little stare at these, heads floating in the water.
Go to a private room, there's ladies in it, man, with drinks. You go to Negan's room, there's ladies, there's no heads, there's heads.
Now, if you betray
I'm not hanging out the heads, the eye patch, and the hook for a hand for a friend. I'm not hanging out there.
But if you betray Negan, you take one of his women without his permission, he takes a burner, he takes a one of those burn things that burn their face, an iron. He takes an iron, so you don't mess with Negan. You do what he says, but he takes care of you. They were fed. Everybody was fed. All the villages were trading foods. They had no choice, but at least everybody was alive.
And you know what else, Eric? When he comes at you face to face like a man, doesn't cut your throat in the middle of the night. He comes at you, right?
But once Rick's group gets in that village, all the villages kind of fell apart. Really, if you think about it, it was under more control under Negan. before Rick's group got there.
Oh, Rick got a lot of people killed so far.
Rick, that moment where they just decided it was the biggest mistake they ever made. They struck a deal with the guy of a community they just met, Hilltop, and they had an abundance of food, right? So, and the community where Rick was at, Alexandria, they were running low on food and supplies. So they tried to do everything they could to try to get them to trade. And the guy who was the leader of Hilltop at that moment, a complete weasel by the name of Gregory. He was just, really demeaning. But in the end, he was just a coward. Finally took Maggie. You know who Maggie is, Gypsy, right? Maggie had to come in, and she talked to him one-on-one, and they struck a deal. Negan, was extorting all the communities for food. Basically, he told him, whatever, half of your shit is my shit. Okay? So Gregory, wanting to escape that kind of extortion, agreed to the deal that Rick presented him. And Rick presented him, all right, we'll go and we'll kill all the saviors for you, okay? And you give us food and we'll trade. But what Rick didn't realize, his biggest mistake on the show is he made this decision without knowing all the facts. Yeah. Okay? And they were led to where the saviors supposedly were. And in the end, all it was just an outpost. And they went in the middle of the night, and one of the most cowardly acts that they did, they killed people while they were sleeping. And they showed that on TV. They showed them sticking knives into their ears, right through their brains, and they tried quietly killing as many as they could before they got realized. So absolutely, Rick has made some mistakes, and he paid for it. When Negan came after them, there was a part of me that said, you not a big part of me that said you brought this upon yourself.
Mm-hmm. Have you actually heard him? He's been on a talk show and he talked about that scene, and he even made a comment. He's like, was it Jeffrey Dean Morgan? Yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He makes a comment and he goes,
Morgan, yeah.
He even asked, why am I the bad guy? He goes, what I killed? 2 of Rick's guys? He came and killed like 25 of mine in the middle of the night while they slept, and I'm the bad guy. So I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get to some of our comments here. We have a lot of them, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here, but everybody's waving at you guys, saying hello. They're laughing. Ismail, Khalid are laughing their ass off. Khalid is agreeing with us. Jelena is with us on Instagram. Jason has joined us. Stuart has joined us.
Does all your people on the Instagram, do they have their swords too?
I hope so.
I hope everyone does. Zombie apocalypse, man. What if you run out of bullets?
I don't know. Do you guys have your swords out there on Instagram?
And a Rick Crime Pad or close to as best I can.
We're ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Hey, Viz, let me ask you a question.
Beyond
The Walking Dead, do you enjoy all zombies, like movies, or is it mostly just like The Walking Dead? Do you enjoy like Zombieland and those kind of zombie movies?
Zombieland was great.
Zombieland.
I
want to ask you your opinion. There was a zombie movie that came out. I thought it was fantastic, but I don't think it got the credit it deserved. Do you remember the zombie movie called Warm Bodies?
No, never heard of that.
Oh, you never saw Warm Bodies? It was very cool because it was different. Where
was that kind of like in the 80s, sort of a comedy?
No. This came out like 6 years ago.
Oh, so no. Girl falls in love with
That's where the zombie technically falls in love with the girl, and somehow by falling in love, his heart starts to beat again. It's where some of these zombies starts to come back in a way, but there's some zombies that can go further into being a darker zombie, like skeleton zombies. It was cool in a different twist because it was like
TV show.
Back. Right. So I'm surprised you never heard of Warm Bodies.
Oh no, I haven't seen all the zombie movies.
It was a TV show, wasn't it, Eric?
No, it was an actual movie.
Oh, one of our viewers, Ismail, says he has watched it. So we have viewers that have seen the movie that you're talking about. Marco writes Nicholas Hoult and Teresa Palmer. They were in that movie. So yeah, I haven't watched it, but a lot of our viewers have watched it.
Yeah, it had some big actors in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that TV show that was on fairly recently about the zombies, sort of a comedic way where they just ate brains exclusively. But these were not zombies out, walked around dragging their feet. They could talk. They were more like vampires, okay? And you guys remember the show that I'm talking about? Wow, a lot of guys, Gypsy, know that movie, Warm Bodies. I need to watch it.
John
Chris from South Jersey, Mr. Warlock.
Huh.
I need to watch it. I need to watch that, guys.
It is because it's just a different twist. It was so cool how the zombie, like, they start to learn how to talk to each other. A few of them.
Well, it's a teenage flick. If you want to boil it down, guys, it's a teenage movie.
But it's very underrated. I know it's more of a teenage flick, but I'm telling you, it's underrated, and I recommend watching it.
There's no TNA kind of a thing. It's just they're two teenagers. One's a zombie and one's not. Well, I wouldn't call them teenagers. Like maybe early 20s, but they fall in love. But one's dead.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it, I've never been disappointed by something that they've recommended. So
listen. The zombie plays records.
Wait, hold on. One of our viewers,
not a CD, a record.
Record.
So he's cool.
He lives in an airplane at the airport.
One of our viewers says that this is from Locust on Instagram. Says that Warm Bodies was like Shaun of the Dead. Have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead, the British? I love that. That is hysterical. They
made that Queen song popular again because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And his idea, it was so comedic. His idea of saving his friends is to take him to the pub. I mean, how British is that? Let's take him to the pub.
They would have been fine, but he had to get to the damn pub. Yeah.
Marco wants to know if you guys have seen this little miniseries, a good 8-9 years old, called Dead Set.
No, I never watched it.
Okay. Yeah, I figured you wouldn't. It's on Netflix. Okay, so if you guys have Netflix. Okay, it's a 6-part miniseries. It's available on Netflix.
I'm texting myself. What's
and
it
what
called?
it does.
Dead Set.
Dead Set.
Well, I'm texting it to Smelly Fan Man so I can have it.
Oh, good.
Dead Set.
Then I won't have to do it.
Dead. Exactly. Dead Set. Anyway, what this 6-part miniseries, it's not a comedy, but it is by far one of the best, zombie miniseries, and I would put it up against zombie movies, zombie TV shows. It's just amazing. And the backdrop of this movie is, now you guys have all heard of the show Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
Where the reality show where they put everybody and they kick somebody out of the house. Well, this takes place like during the British version of Dead Set. Of Big Brother. And while they're filming Big Brother, the zombie apocalypse breaks out.
Gotta see this.
You gotta see this. It is amazing.
Tonight.
It is amazing.
Well, after our
it's
show.
A multi-part series. Yeah, it's a multi-part show, and you gotta see it. It's by far, to this day, one of the best movies. Now, another person, Sandra Carroll on Instagram. Now, zombie movies, you know which country makes great zombie movies? South Korea. And I know that might sound crazy to you, but there's this movie called Train to Busan.
I heard of it.
Okay.
Didn't watch it yet, but I heard of it.
And that is another. So Sandra, thank you for reminding me that on Instagram. Great movie. And also the Netflix TV series that's out now called Kingdom. That's another Korean zombie flick. So these zombie flicks, the Koreans, they make some amazing zombie TV shows and zombie flicks. You know what I mean? And I just want to clarify one thing. The Walking Dead is really not about zombies.
No.
About survival.
No. It's about survival. It's about how does humanity react when the shit hits the fan. Okay? The zombies are just a backdrop. You could have easily have done it. I mean, yeah, they make it nice and interesting and gory as hell. But yeah, and you could have put anything as what caused the apocalypse. Doing it with the zombies just makes it that much more interesting. But the whole premise of the show is, how does humanity react when all the rules just go out the window?
Apparently, we're all supposed to get toilet paper.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, what we do is we run for the hills for toilet paper, and yeah, I bet you those writers out in Hollywood never saw that one. They're like, damn. You know, if we could go back and rewrite these movies when the zombie apocalypse was breaking out. No, forget the canned food, forget the water. People want their asses
Remember all
clean.
the times Rambo would run back to the cabin to get toilet paper before he ran off for the woods, you know?
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
want to see one episode when somebody comes out of the house and they're holding a roll of toilet paper and everyone's clapping. I want to see that
Oh,
scene.
God. I want to answer a question by Nidan. He's asked if anybody has seen the new Creep Show, which is done by Greg Nicotero, the guy who's behind The Walking Dead. I
saw the old ones.
Marco,
I didn't know that was out yet.
No, these are new. Marco has been on my
What
ass.
format is it on? I mean, how can I watch it?
It's on TV. It's on AMC.
Oh, AMC,
the same
really?
channel as The Walking Dead. Yeah. So if you have on demand with cable where you can view prior episodes, it's only been maybe out for 3 weeks or 4
I didn't know
weeks.
that.
So if you want to catch up, I need to catch up. I haven't watched a single episode yet.
I wonder if the country
Alice
Turk
Horns.
made a zombie movie.
Hey, Eric, did you need to text that to me too?
New York Dan writes, I'm sure it's an amazing show. Marco writes, great movie. Yeah, I kept your scrolls, guys, so I didn't want to miss a lot of questions. Locust South writes, follow me and survive. Hey, Kimmy, thank you for joining us. Kimmy writes, hey, Marco. Marco writes, AMC, the finale just aired. I guess Marco's talking to somebody else there. But, yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys, let's move away from the zombie thing.
Hey,
for
can I give a
bit.
shout out for one of your person in the chat, Saz Chick, who been on your streaming every show. She actually went to one of my videos she watched and she left a comment. And I just want to tell her thank you for checking our show out.
Saz is amazing. Saz is, she started watching our stream, towards the very beginning, and Saz is what I call the human Wikipedia of all things The Walking Dead. And I very soon after asked her to become an official contributor to our show. I'm like, I need, we all need someone with your knowledge, because she knows every little bits of the ins and outs of everything that's going on.
She's the den mother.
And I just
real quick, I can't see any chat, so I don't want to make upset anyone.
Oh, you don't want to read it, dude. It's saying
that's okay. I figure it's all negative. It usually is.
He needs to get rid of that hat. He's ugly too.
That's a woman's
Oh, really?
sword.
Okay. Well, this is my Rick Grimes hat.
I just wanted to make sure, are you the YouTube people still with us? You guys got kind of quiet over there. They're probably just enthralled in our conversation over here. Fernandino is giving us the skull and the big beat, the thumbs up. Yes, they're watching right now. So Saz, I snatched her up as a contributor, and she graciously accepted, and I'm just grateful for that. Andrew Valentine is waving at us. Hello, Andrew. Luis SB15 has joined us on Instagram. AMR, Arm Yourself, has joined us on Instagram. Jamil has joined us on Instagram. Thank all of you guys for joining. Summer, thank you I see you right there, Summer. How you doing? Chris from South Jersey is joining us on YouTube.
Chris from South
he says,
Jersey.
you guys are the
I've seen him in my
best.
chat.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah.
I know that cat.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Chris,
I think for zombie movies, a game changer for a zombie movie was Return of the Living Dead, when they kind of made it like a little bit of a comedy about brains. And I love that. Even the sequel to Return of the Living Dead was cool. It was like taking something and just changing it a little bit. I love that movie. And it was fantastic. I don't know if you remember that movie.
I loved it. Yeah, and let's see how well you remember that movie. Do you remember the chick that was in the cemetery with her group while they were waiting for their friend to get off work in the mortuary. Yeah. Anyway, this chick is the one who stripped down naked.
Yes. We know that thing.
I met her. Her name is Linnea Quigley. And back when me and my brother Marco would be going to these horror conventions, she was one of the guests. And she's done several horror movies. But yeah, I mean, they had her in like the punk red hair in that movie. And,
you should get her back and do a reenactment of that scene.
We should do that. We should do that.
Can you do a reenactment?
You know, another game changer is when the zombies started running. Like when they redid the Dawn of the Dead movie in the, whatever it was, the 80s or 90s. And
well, the original came out in the early 80s. The remake was about 15 years or so ago.
Whenever but when they remade it, when they ended up on the island.
Yeah.
When the zombies are running, I mean, to me, that was a complete
I don't like that.
New angle to it. Because it made it even scarier, didn't it? More real.
Yeah.
And and you know what? I have posed this question to a lot of our viewers. Which would scare you most? Like what I call the snail moving zombies on The Walking Dead, or the ones that come raging
like
running
World
after
War
you.
Z? Aren't those the ones that runs like
same thing.
Do you consider I Am Legend zombies?
No.
I don't consider them zombies.
Same thing with that 38 days, or what was it? 29 days. 28 days. Same thing. It was just a virus. It wasn't like eating brains necessarily. That was a weird one. They wanted to infect you, and then that was all they wanted, usually.
It was called the Corona something, the Corona 19 or something like that.
Yeah. And Marco, Ceiling Fan Man, that remake of Dawn of the Dead came out in 2004.
Oh, okay.
Zack Snyder directed that one.
Yeah. It was good. It was scary as heck, man, because they were running.
And Zack Snyder is also who made that Dawn of the Dead. I don't know if you know this. He is making a zombie series for Netflix right now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, we're just getting saturated. Yeah, zombie movies were dead for a really long time.
That's funny.
Yeah, no pun intended. No pun intended.
You were saying, you were talking about how they were. What's more scarier, the ones that run or the ones that walk? Now I'm going to add a third one.
Yeah, what do you guys? What scares you guys?
What scares me? Now I'm going to add a third one to that one. When Michael Jackson turned into a zombie with his people, and they started doing that dance. Now
the dance he would scare the crap.
That scared the shit out of me when Michael Jackson became the zombie and they were dancing. Now I don't know if I want to run or watch. Dude, I want to
or join in. You know, if you like dancing and you know the song.
So let's include that.
You know, Thriller is the song. Now let me tell you, Marco and my brother and I, watched like the premiere of that video when it first hit the TV. Yeah,
it was a big deal.
I don't know if Marco
it was a world
remembers,
premiere.
But me and Marco were right there. We watched it with the rest of the world. You know, Army of the Dead.
That's the Zack Snyder one. No, I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, but going back to Thriller, that was
You're awesome, Robert.
Michael Jackson.
Marco, was it John Land?
Yeah.
Didn't the person who did American Werewolf in London, Marco?
Yes, he directed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because he used the same
what was his name? John Landis?
Stay on the moors. Stay on the moors, boys.
Yeah, you stay on the moors. Oh, man, what a great movie, An American Werewolf in London. And loved it. A classic. If you guys out there have not seen An American Werewolf in London, this is going back to the 80s now.
Watch the sequel to that.
No, it's not. It's garbage.
Do not watch
the one in Paris.
The CGI in the second one was so bad. I'm like, go back to practical, man.
Yeah, I was in the moors. I was recently in the moors in England. I was waiting for the, waiting for the werewolf. They actually have taverns, the guys, outside of bullshit, outside of the movies. They've got taverns with those particular pentagram symbols. Now, they're not Satan worshippers. Those are luck charms. They like how American West, we have the horseshoe and certain symbols outside of barns to keep the bad spirits out. It's just an old wives' tradition, but they do have them symbols, and it's spooky out there. They live in them pubs, man. I know how those guys feel walking in there. And then the moors themselves are kind of slushy, long, lengthy, kind of boggish. They're boggish out there. It's freaky.
Yeah, I've never been, but Marco says that John Landis, he also did Animal.
Yeah, he did.
Well.
Oh,
great movie.
fantastic!
I did not know that.
You don't think that name is
John Belushi. Yeah,
Is he involved in
Belushi,
Blues Brothers
classic.
too, or am I wrong there? I don't know.
No, Blues Brothers
I
was
don't know.
produced
I
by
don't know.
Steven Spielberg.
No,
That was one of his
Yeah.
movies.
it was.
He's got a lot of Mandela
Oh,
effect.
Norman Reedus is my hero, is giving us smiley love faces. Thank you, Norman. Marco writes, just like The Howling, the sequel
Oh
was
God,
awful.
yes.
The original Howling was great. The sequels were
Except
horrible.
the very ending
And
where
don't-
she turns into a teddy bear. That was terrible. Come on, that was so.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Valentine agrees. American Werewolf in London was really, really good. Again, Chris from Jersey writes, classic for sure. It was a classic, and the sequel was horrible. It was they went from makeup, the werewolves in makeup, to
They
complete
didn't have a
CGI.
story. I mean,
No.
the original had a story, like
And it was funny.
Because you never saw a werewolf person kill somebody, and then what it's like on the afterlife, being The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Going to the movie theater. What was it, a porn movie?
It was a porn- yeah.
They're watching a porn movie,
Sounds
and,
Yeah.
like porn.
and there's a bunch of dead people that the werewolf killed. That wasn't done before.
Zombies love porn, especially
Yeah.
British
And,
porn.
and then the second one had no originality at all.
No.
They got that stupid kid. He was popular.
Yeah,
One of
who
those like.
cares?
Yeah, and I think he ended up doing like
I-
a dozen howlings,
We
and
need to
they're all.
take this-
I didn't watch any of them after the
We need to
second.
go attack the people who made the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the werewolf in the Paris one, which is the sequel, looked. It didn't even look like a wolf. It looked like Sasquatch. I guess what Bigfoot would look
yeah.
like. That it's Sasquatch that walked on all fours. That's what it reminded me of. It was just horrible,
they were.
horrible. But anyway,
You had Universal did all
Going
those
back-
old horror movies. Dracula, The Mummy, and all those. Did they ever?
the classic
Yes, the
monster
monster one.
ones.
Did they do a zombie one? I can't remember.
I don't know.
No, just Night of the Living
No,
Dead.
probably
I'm
not.
sure-
But I'm gonna do the Michael Jackson one.
Uh-oh.
You know what my favorite movies growing up too were all the Sinbad ones with the monsters that were in like 3D animation where they were like the little puppets and stuff. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
The Sinbad
yeah.
movies and all those.
Good night, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I do remember that. And
I take those
just
monsters
go-
over the CGI if it's so bad.
Oh man, but anyway, going back to the point I was making, before The Walking Dead, zombie movies had really faded out of popularity. They were a big thing with George Romero when he started Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and then some other movies came out, but it was really just here and there. When The Walking Dead hit the scene in 2010, and by 2012, when it had like 35 to 40 million viewers per week, that's when we got flooded with zombie movies, comedies, TV shows. There were these comedic spin-offs of The Walking Dead that were just
remember,
so
Zombieland
ridiculous.
came out in 2009. Actually came out a year before The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So Zombieland kind of helped.
Yeah,
Bring
that's
it back a
true.
little
It
bit.
did
And that's
give
the
it.
same year that he fired up CERN. Think about it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, that is true.
I agree
That
with
is
him. He's
true.
got the
And,
weapon. I agree.
But yeah, like I said, there were the occasional zombie movies like Zombieland, which was great. But then after The Walking Dead, it just all
Dead
got
put it in
bad.
everyone's
I mean,
home for weeks and weeks on end, and it became its own like little thing.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It did really give it a good surge.
It did, and I think one of the parts is either the first season or second season when they're in that underground bunker, where there was a worker there that told Rick that I got a secret to tell you, And the secret was they were already all have the virus. Everyone already affected.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like a game changer.
Yeah, no matter who you are, you're gonna die.
Yeah, because once you die, you're becoming a zombie no matter what.
And tell me the scene when Rick's under the tank, that was one of the most intense scenes ever, and it was a TV show. It didn't matter if it was a movie or not. That was super intense in the first season.
They took chances. They went actually rated R on regular network TV in a way. They were like the first to really push the envelope.
Yeah, and they ate that horse, and everyone's like screaming, "Oh my God, they're eating the horse on camera!" They were like ripping apart the horse, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is not good. This is like, what the hell is going on?" They're ripping apart the horse.
What about the cannibals eating the human leg? No one wrote in on that one. It's kind of funny. Everyone's mad about the horse. They were chewing on the leg. What's that guy's leg sitting there? I mean, come on.
And you know what? When you mentioned the tank scene, when he got into the tank and he was cornered and he saw no way out, he was literally about a minute away from shooting himself. Rick.
That's so
he was going to kill himself.
Intense.
Yeah, and right before he did it, that's when the voice through the radio came in and said, "Hey, you dumbass," and it was Glenn. And well, that led him on a whole new trajectory after that. But the episode that you're talking about, Gypsy, that bunker, that was the CDC.
Yeah.
Okay, the first season of The Walking Dead was only 6 episodes. And they just wanted to test the waters with it and see how it would do. Well, obviously it did very well. And on the final episode, they went to the CDC. And that episode is a classic because it is the only time that we ever got some kind of scientific explanation as to what was going on. And if you also remember, that guy, his name was Jenner. That was the sole living doctor left at the CDC. And he brought up on the screen the human brain as to what exactly happens after the moment of physical death. How there's a time period that passes, and then the brain starts, a very small portion of the brain starts to reanimate again. And I thought that was amazing how they just showed that, the brain starting to light up and the movements and everything. And originally, and this leads us to conclude that this virus has mutated over the years, it was supposed to be like anywhere between 8 to 24 hours, I believe, after you've died, to come back as a zombie. Now, what we see is characters dying, and within a few minutes they're coming back. So that just leads us, to assume that the virus has mutated.
And also, the zombies are decaying or something, because in the first episodes they could smell you, and you had to always like douse yourself in the most disgusting stuff to live through a scene.
Exactly. And
now they can just walk right past you basically with a mask on, so they don't smell us.
Exactly. Yeah. In the first couple seasons, they had to douse their whole bodies with guts of the dead. Now, at least the one good thing that came out of the latest antagonists on the show, which are the Whisperers, they've shown them that, hey, you just cut the face off of a dead person, put it on as a mask, and you can walk amongst the dead.
That's weird.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like what's happening now.
Well, it's the same thing as the previous season when they put some of the guts on their bodies.
Yeah, but after a while, the face wouldn't smell, though, after a while. It'd almost be like a mask. It wouldn't stink. You would
Everyone's wearing masks. It's funny you guys are talking
maybe
about
it's a hormone they got to rub on always rub something dead on.
Yeah, you made a good point, because we start becoming leather.
Yeah, it becomes leather after a while. It's just
maybe
like
maybe they got zombie blood and
I can just
put it up
a
on
baseball glove on my face. It'd be the same thing.
Well, in camp, they did show them have their mask like on a tree. Maybe they
must douse it with like some kind of like zombie urine or something.
See, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface, he was ahead of his time. See?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Exactly, Leatherface.
Would you consider?
There you go, Leatherface, classic example.
The original Whisperer. He's the original Whisperer.
Exactly, and you know what? There's the one Whisperer, Beta, who's now ahead of that herd of the antagonists. Beta, he never takes his mask off. Never.
Like Leatherface.
And imagine how disgusting his real skin by now must have actually melded with the
kind of like a lot of
string,
people walking around I see out in town.
Yeah.
Sorry. We'll go back to the show.
Would you call those people in the movie Overlord in the middle when they were doing the Overlord? If you've never seen it, where the Nazis were doing experiments on humans, and they were like kind of like coming back from life. Like, would you call those zombies in that movie?
Which one?
It's called Overlord. It's J.J. Abrams produced it. It's where Americans they go behind D-Day, and it looked like it's gonna be a regular war movie. And then this little group of an army gets into this little village, and then they found out that the Nazis were doing experiments on humans, putting like viruses in them, making them superhumans, so they come back like dead people, like alive.
Yeah, no. Oh, there's Leatherface. Come closer to the camera there, Bob.
Oh, look at that.
We want to get a good look at that. Where'd you get that?
Actually,
oh, hold on. Marco is calling us. Hello? Oh.
Hey, John. What's going on?
No, hold on. I think I lost the feed on the guys. Let me get them back.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let me get them back. Hold on. Resume.
Where is the chat? I can't see. Oh, here it is.
There you go. What happened was my brother wanted to get in on the call, but we lost the video. So I'm pushing Skype's limit tonight. I'm really pushing Skype's limit.
I'm only getting like every other word.
Guys, this is from the movie The Thing. Not
They Live. That's They Live.
That's They Live. That's what that is. Yes, I knew that. With Roddy Piper. Remember the wrestler Roddy Piper?
Oh, we lost audio.
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, he was popping in and out. He's back.
I got this in Manchester. It was one of those weird-ass buildings where they had like all kinds of secondhand but weird stuff. Not like junk, but like really unique collector's stuff. And the lady had just this one mask. And I said, how much do you want for that mask? Not really. She don't even really know what she has. She's like, oh, about £6. I go, $6 for this?
That's awesome.
You're kidding me.
Now, remember, this guy sleeps with this.
I do.
Okay, come on, guys.
He sleeps with a dolphin dog.
Yeah, I have to. It's medically prescribed. It's medically prescribed.
Am I still on camera?
That's hysterical.
I sleep with that and a dog.
Going back to that Roddy Piper movie, you guys remember the end where he destroys the satellite that was masking their real face?
Yeah.
Okay? And then you see, their disguise is blown to the people who were not aliens.
Yeah.
The funniest part is the woman who was having sex. And I don't know if you remember that. She was having sex with an alien. And that was just hysterical.
That's them. That's hysterical. These people here. That's actually, it's a pretty good mask, too. It looks real. It's them.
I saw that, and when you had it from far away, to me, it looked like the Michael Myers mask. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm like, let me get a better look at that.
Myers mask.
When he comes into the bank with the shotgun, do you remember what he says about the gun?
I remember what you're talking about when he comes out of the bank, but I don't remember what he says. What does he say?
Well, I wonder if the chat remembers. It's a famous line about chewing bubblegum, if you guys remember it.
Oh, damn. It's like right there. I don't remember the exact phrase, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't remember the exact phrase. Do you know what it is? Or
I mean, I can't see the chat or really use my computer, so I don't quote it.
On the YouTube side, nobody's answering that question.
I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris from South Jersey. Yeah, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
That was Chris from South Jersey.
The other way, it sounds, I don't know. But yeah.
I want to, now, Gypsy, you got the, I know you guys talk a lot about the Mandela effect, and I did a post, and I sent it to you, Gypsy. Did you get it, the one I did about Rick Grimes? This is about a week or two ago. I'm going to play it. You guys on Skype are not going to be able to see it, but you could watch it on the replay of the show. Our viewers are going to see it. So let's try this. Like I said, I'm pushing Skype's limits tonight, but I'm going to play you guys a video that I made a couple of weeks back on the end of season 2 that I posted on my social.
Does everyone remember this famous speech?
It'll be on here.
Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead.
It'll be on YouTube. He said.
Where he uses the term
Let's see it.
No takers.
Go ahead. I'll pull one up. I didn't have
one thing straight.
Go ahead. That's
staying.
Look, he has to get audio out of it. He just got it out.
Democracy anymore.
Well, if you did, then like myself, you were 100% wrong. Rick never uses the term
I have this off. That's why.
Immediately following this episode, on social media, blogs, and news articles is where the term dictatorship was created.
She's cute.
It was so widespread that our minds recall that scene as Rick
this is
actually
embarrassing.
saying
How do you spell the channel on YouTube that we're looking?
It's part of a known phenomenon called the Mandela effect.
All right, so there brought us guys back. Now I know us Skyping, we could not hear, so you guys can go back and watch the replay. Did our viewers? Did you guys see the video? And basically, what I did is I made a video because at the end of season 2, Rick gives his whole democracy speech, and right after that episode, social media just blew up. And they created the term Ricktatorship or Rickocracy. And in my mind, I had the Mandela effect on that one because in my mind, I could have sworn that Rick Grimes said Ricktatorship. And when my son was watching it, he was binge watching it, and I was watching alongside of him, and he got to that episode, I told him, all right, wait, the line is coming. He's going to say Ricktatorship. And I ended up looking like a complete jackass because he never says it. He never says that line. It's just something that my mind melded together with what happened on social media after the episode, as opposed to what actually happened on the episode itself.
Well, you probably heard it. You remember, it's the same thing with Star Trek. Do you remember what he says when he pulls out his little thing? He says, "Blank, Scotty." What does he say to Scotty when he's on the ground?
Beam me up.
Guess what? No, say the whole thing. Beam me up what?
Beam me up, Scotty.
Not anymore, dude. Never happened. Not out there. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They changed it?
No, they didn't change it.
Never happened. You're misremembering, as they say.
Misremembering. It never happened. They asked William Shatner, the actor himself, and he's like, please stop bothering me with it. On live camera. I've never said that before.
Yeah. And the connection to William Shatner, because I went and saw him live with my dad, because we used to watch Star Trek together all the time. And he used to do this joke live every time. And people would ask him if he wears boxers or briefs. And he would say, depends. And get a big laugh. Right?
Yeah.
Never been called that. There's no guts. So now the joke doesn't make sense.
Oh, man.
Here's one.
Yeah. Our mind.
And the Roddy Piper one, actually, if you look that one up, it's changed. Because he no longer says it the order everyone remembers. That's kind of why I'm bringing that one up, too.
No, beam me up, Scotty. No, beam me up, Scotty. He just says, beam me up. Beam me up. No, beam me up, Scotty. Finish the word. What do you mean?
Exactly. We only have 2 minutes left, guys, before Instagram and their damn hour limit. But I wanted to ask you guys before we get cut off. I know it's not your favorite, but in general, starting with Gypsy, Bob, and Ceiling Fan Man, do you guys overall like horror movies?
Yeah. We were born and raised on horror movies. My daughter, who's 13, watched horror movies since she was 3 years old.
Love them.
How about you, Ceiling Fan Man?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I grew up watching all of them, the Friday the 13th and the Halloweens and all that, because I was 80s kid. So we had, I think, some of the best beginnings. I mean, we had Freddy. We had them all.
Yeah.
That they went on for generations. So, yeah. You couldn't
Fangoria magazine, man. Fangoria magazine. Yep. I used to buy it every month.
Fangoria magazine.
Fangoria.
I gotta tell you, before we lose you guys, I got a guest. Now, Bob, you just said Fangoria magazine.
Yeah.
The editor of Fangoria magazine is going to be a guest on our show.
Oh, awesome!
sometime before the end of this month. I spoke to him. I reached out to him. I sent him pictures of when we met him back in the 90s because we would go to these horror conventions. His name is Anthony Timpone. So I just friended him on Facebook. I said hello. I told him about this show. And he's like, yeah, I'll do your show. It'll be later on in this month.
Nice.
So I'll let you know because he's going to be on here. And we're going to be talking all about horror movies like 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way to now. And to this day, this man, for 35 years, has been in the horror industry. And he's still going strong now. So I am psyched as shit to have him on this show.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He has he has worked with Stephen King. Okay. Wow. Every actor that's been in a horror movie, he probably has met them or knows them.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
You live Friday the 13th.
Exactly.
But do you guys remember Phantasm with the ball that went down the hallway and smashed you in the head?
The tall man.
The little midgets.
Don't forget Evil Dead.
Oh,
yeah. And Ash, that whole series they did on, what was it, the Amazon or Netflix?
All right, now let's talk about screw-up sequels. Evil Dead 2 and Beyond suck. How can you take a scary movie like The Evil Dead and make it into a comedy?
But I'm sorry, I did like that character. What's his name?
Bubba Hotep.
What's that guy? Ash.
Ash. Yeah. Bruce Campbell.
I did like his character. I'm sorry. I can see them both.
I like him in
Bruce
Bubba
Campbell.
Hotep.
Bruce Campbell played Ash. Anyway, guys, Instagram is literally about to cut us off. We can go on for hours. I want to thank all you guys, Gypsy Road, Bob, Ceiling Fan Man, for joining me tonight. All our viewers. I know we had so many people talking. I'm sorry we couldn't get to a lot of your comments. I want to thank all you guys for watching. Go to our YouTube channel called Walking Dead Now and subscribe. Thank you to Marco. Thank you to Sass. Thank you to Summer, Ismail, Andrew, Trust God 73 on Instagram. All you guys, thank you so much. And I'll be back on the air tomorrow. Thank you, Gypsy Road. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Ceiling Fan Man again. We have to do this again. We have to do this again because we've only not even started our conversation. So until next time, guys, stay walking.
Warm up.